He who has no money is poor. He who has nothing but money is even poorer. This quote is from Susan Woods Fisher out of Amish Proverbs, Words of Wisdom from the Simple Life. The Amish are a smaller group of people that are known for their religious beliefs and their very simple way of life. The Amish focus mainly on religion, agriculture, and family. Today we will talk more about the Amish culture and the gender differences in the Amish culture. I'm going to talk a little bit more about where the Amish came from to start with, their basic history. The Amish church originated in Switzerland in the late 17th century. It was started by Jacob Ammon, who was an Anabaptist, and he was breaking free from Mennonites. They emigrated to North America in the 19th and 20th century, and they first settled in Pennsylvania. That is the largest area in Pennsylvania where they all still are. They have spread out to other parts of the country as well. They have different church districts, and that's how they separate themselves. Now that you know a little bit of the basic Amish history, we'll talk more about their culture inside the United States. The Amish believe that community is the heart of their life, and so they believe in helping each other as a big community, and individualism is not really a thing that they acknowledge or encourage or do. One of the things that parts of their culture is self-help. The members of the community will help each other and they'll work together. They do not accept benefits or anything like that from the government like we traditionally might. They also believe on keeping themselves separate from the world. That goes along with making sure that they don't use electricity. They do not have any part of being part of any confrontation. When it came to the world wars, they did not participate because it was against their beliefs. The Amish culture is really big on stressing simplicity and humility. They try to avoid anything that could be something that could show pride or wealth or anything like that. So their dress is very simple. Women wear long dresses of certain colors. Men wear kind of essentially the same clothes as each other, because they don't want to stand out in any way. Amish schooling, they do go to school, but it's not traditional school. They have their own schools that they do where they have younger women in the community will be the teachers for it, and they only go to school up until about the age of 14, and then after that they go more to the men help their fathers in the field, or they become apprentices, and the women join their mothers in kitchens or stores and things like that. We'll get into that more in a little bit. Amish do not believe in using electricity. This goes with their keeping life simple. They do, however, sometimes have to have electricity in barns if they have milk that they need to keep cold. They're required by the government to at least have electricity for that. But they will also have help from outsiders when it comes to, they usually do a horse and buggy, but if they're going to go a longer distance, then they might get a ride from somebody that would be considered English and an outsider. But for the most part, they do keep life pretty simple, and their main focus is community and God. They live their life around. Now that you're more familiar with the Amish culture, I'd like to look more into the Amish gender role differences after they get out of school. After Amish girls and boys finish school, at around approximately the age of 16, they get to go through this thing that's called a Rumspringa, where they get to go out and explore the outside world. They are allowed to go dress in non-Amish clothing, participate in modern technology to see if the Amish life is really what they want. Approximately 90% of Amish kids come back and stay with the Amish, and they do not leave the Amish community after experiencing all of that. Amish men go to a type of role that's, not much different than American men in a sense. The jobs are a little different. They go back and they work on their farm, or they can go apprentice with an Amish shop owner or a tradesman. But essentially their main purpose is to go out there and support their household, find a way to support their household. Along with being the leader of the home, they bear the financial responsibility for supporting the home. After they find wives, it's common for an Amish man and wife to have a large family. So they have to find a way to sustain that family and make them enough money to support the family. Amish women, on the other hand, when they finish their Rumspringa, they go to more of what we would feel maybe old school traditional, like years and years ago, where the women come back and they take care of the home. Their primary job is to do the cooking, the cleaning, gardening, help out with the animals on the farm. Some younger women will become teachers in the schools or help out at different things in the community, but essentially when you first have children, you're expected to be raising the children and running your household. After the children get older, you can go outside of there and have jobs outside of the home, helping out in bakeries or quilt shops, or even actually helping out in the outside world having a job. After learning more about the Amish culture and the gender roles, we know that the Amish gender roles are more like how men and women in our culture used to be before the war. We evolved into how our culture is today and continue to evolve, but the Amish continue to live a more strict and unchanged in their gender roles. We may not understand why the Amish continue to live without modern convenience, but it is important to see why they believe what they believe. We may have a hard time ever seeing women only responsible for taking care of the house and home, but we need to understand their reasons for their choice. Everyone is entitled to their religious beliefs, and they just believe in the simpler life of women belong in the women roles and men belong in male roles.